Hey, Rebels, welcome back. So wait, you can actually make $200,000 a year growing mushrooms? And no, it's not some crazy, weird secret farming club. This all started in a garage. Now let's talk about how this Walla Walla, Washington entrepreneur took mushrooms from fungus to fortune. And spoiler, they didn't even know what they were doing at first. Stick around because this one's going to be a wild, spore-filled ride. Ever thought about farming mushrooms? Probably not, right? This guy, Sundown, has turned his passion for mushrooms into a thriving business, all while proving that you don't need to know anything about farming to make it happen. He started with $5,000 in his garage and now sells $200,000 worth of mushrooms every year. So, Sundown isn't some lifelong farmer with a silver spoon in his mouth. No, this guy worked at an Apple store, UPS, and did a bunch of other odd jobs before he ever touched a mushroom. But one day, he realized there was a major gap in the market. Walla Walla, a city known for its fine dining, had zero mushroom growers. That's when he made his move. From zero experience to owning Hesed Farms, Sundown faced every possible challenge. And I'm not talking about growing mushrooms. The moment they decided to launch, the world got hit with the shamdemic. And yes, I said shamdemic. Ha 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 ha. I have to watch what I say, y'all. But hey, life didn't stop for them, and they adapted. Here's where it gets crazy. They failed a lot at first. Imagine trying to grow mushrooms for the first time. Yeah, they had their fair share of fails. But then came the moment that changed everything. The advice that Sundown gives to anyone wanting to start a mushroom farm: don't try to do it all yourself. When you start, don't overwhelm yourself with the idea of scaling up right away. Focus on the basics, like learning how to grow the mushrooms, understanding the growth cycle, and keeping your space clean. Sundown learned that the best way to succeed wasn't by reinventing the wheel, but by learning from others who were already doing it. Whether it's via YouTube, mentors, or local mushroom farmers, get your knowledge from trusted sources. A huge tip for new mushroom growers: start with a small batch and don't go overboard with equipment. Invest in basic tools to help you grow, but keep your costs low. It's easy to get excited and overspend, but keeping things lean in the beginning ensures you can scale more effectively. Okay, so now you're thinking, all right, so how does this all come together? First, you focus on the fruiting stage. Forget the complicated setups for now. This is where you need to shine. All you need is a clean space, proper climate control, maybe a small tent or incubator, and a place to store your mushrooms. That's it. If you're smart about it, you can turn even a small apartment into your mushroom haven. The fruiting stage is the most critical part of mushroom growing because it's where you actually see the mushrooms take shape. Unlike other crops that take months to mature, mushrooms grow really fast. We're talking 50% larger every day. That means your time to harvest is limited. Make sure your fruiting environment has the right temperature, humidity, and air circulation. Don't complicate things by rushing to set up a massive operation. A key to success is creating a controlled environment. Even if you're just starting in a small tent, make sure you can control factors like humidity and temperature. If you don't have that, your mushrooms won't grow as well, and you'll face a ton of challenges down the road. Also, remember to maintain cleanliness. A small bit of contamination can ruin your entire batch. This is where the real genius lies. Sundown and his team have spent $0 on advertising. Yes, you read that right. Everything from social media to a simple email newsletter has brought in the customers. But the real secret? Farmers markets. Not only did Sundown sell his mushrooms directly to consumers, but he built relationships at these markets. Farmers markets aren't just a place to sell your product. They're a relationship-building opportunity. If you're going into farmers markets, be ready to talk to customers, share your story, and get feedback on your products. People buy from people they trust. If you can connect with customers and explain your process, they'll want to support you. This face-to-face interaction has been key to Sundown's success. Here's a fun fact. Sundown is on track to hit $250,000 this year in revenue. That's a 40% increase year over year. And to think, he started all of this in his garage with just a few $1,000s. This guy is a walking example of scaling a side hustle and making it big. But it's not just about the money. It's about what you learn along the way. From customer connections to understanding the power of growing something people want. As Sundown scaled his business, he focused on operational efficiency. From automating processes to fine-tuning his harvesting schedule, Sundown maximized every ounce of effort to ensure profitability. But it wasn't just about growing mushrooms. It was about optimizing his entire business model. When scaling, keep financial control over your business. Sundown didn't overextend himself, and he grew the business cautiously. This meant knowing when to reinvest in your business without draining your cash flow. Look for opportunities to optimize before you make big leaps. Now, let's get real. It's not all sunshine and mushroom pies. There's a ton of hard work involved. Sundown spent hours packing, delivering, and dealing with unexpected challenges. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just about the mushrooms. He says you need patience, stamina, and persistence. And let me tell you, he's living proof. Here are some key takeaways for you know your customer. Research your competition and understand who wants what you're offering. Start small. You don't need a huge investment, just a small space and a big passion. Build relationships. Real connections, whether at farmers markets or with restaurants, are what drive your business forward. Timing is everything. Mushrooms grow fast, so be ready to harvest when it counts. Be bold. Don't be afraid to take risks. Sundown went from a garage to a successful farm because he embraced the unknown and took the first steps. So, if you've ever thought about launching your own business but weren't sure where to start, this mushroom farming story might be the inspiration you need. Sundown didn't just grow mushrooms. He grew a community, a business, and a lifestyle. And remember, success can sprout from the most unexpected places. Who knew that some mushrooms could teach us about patience, persistence, and profits? If you're ready to take your next steps and learn more about the side hustle that could turn into your full-time gig, don't forget to subscribe. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the weirdest side hustle you've ever considered? Let's talk about it.